It's the Summer Full of Savings sales event going on now at Bill Gatton Honda in Bristol. Save hundreds, even thousands on new or used vehicles with interest rates as low as 0.9%. Come test drive the all-new Ridgeline, available now. We need locally owned vehicles, so we'll pay you instant cash if you trade or not. Come see us on the Parkway in Bristol for big discounts through the entire summer, and we're open late. Visit us online 24/7 at BillGattonHonda.com.
And remember, at Bill Gatton Honda, we've got a Honda with your name on it.
The end of summer sales event is happening now at Bill Gatton Honda in Bristol. Save hundreds, even thousands on new or used vehicles with interest rates as low as 0.9%. Test drive the all-new Ridgeline and the entire Honda fleet available now. We need locally owned vehicles, so we will pay you instant cash if you trade or not. Come see us on the Parkway in Bristol for huge discounts from now until the end of summer. Visit us online 24/7 at BillGattonHonda.com.
And remember, at Bill Gatton Honda, we've got a Honda with your name on it.
Welcome to Inside Viking Sports. David Dowell and John Monroe coming to you from the Stone Castle today. And we usually are, of course, we're at Quaker Steak on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock now here during the football season. But we are at the castle today. And basically what we're doing is making sure we're ready to go for next Thursday when the Vikings open the 2017 season against the Knox Central Bobcats. And so we're just making sure we're got all of our ducks in a row, and Daniel, our engineer back in the studio, is watching everything and making sure we're hunky-dory, John. So hopefully we'll...
It's our scrimmage, too.
Yeah, it is our scrimmage, too. As a matter of fact, speaking of scrimmages, the Vikings are hosting their final scrimmage of the day. They're getting ready to get started with Abingdon, and the Vikings are on defense to start out with. So quick pass out to the 37-yard line. It'll be a pick up a 6 on the play for the Abingdon Falcons. But we're going to be talking about the football game. And of course the big thing is next week is the opening game for the Vikings here at the Stone Castle. Following that, we'll be on the road for the next 3 games. We'll go to Lee up in Pennington Gap, Virginia the following week, and then to Boone, and then at Virginia High the 8th of September. So we're quickly counting days now to get started for Tennessee High Viking football. And again, we appreciate everybody at Quaker Steak and Lee. We'll let you know that Meet the Vikings is Friday night. We'll be handing out during the Meet the Vikings, they'll be handing out discount cards for the people and holding call on Abingdon, so they'll move the ball back and negate that first down, or not the pickup of 7. But we'll be handing out discount cards on Friday, and then also we have Quaker Steak and Lube pencils to hand out to the kids that'll be here. There's going to be a lot of activities going on here at the Stone Castle. We have Meet the Vikings. You'll meet the Lady Vikings and the Vikings, all their fall sports. The Mighty Viking Band will be here, the Viking cheerleaders. It's going to be just a whole lot of different things going on, and we're really looking forward to that. You get that on, you know that football season is here then. So,
and if it rains, I believe Viking Hall on this.
Yes, if in case it does that word, everything will go into Viking Hall, I'm pretty sure. So, but we're good right now. Matter of fact, it's starting to drop off what they've told us so far, John, or what the weather guys have told us. So, but it is Quaker Steak and Lube night here on the Voice of the Vikings for Inside Viking Sports. They, of course, it's 60-cent boneless wing night, and also Thunderbird Steak, $12.99. It includes 2 sides, and great way to try some things out, especially the boneless wings. That starts at 9 o'clock, and you can get 6 of any flavor that you want, and they will let you try those flavors anytime that you want to. And so please do get down and try them out. And we've been telling you this for the 3rd year now. It's the best deal that you can get if you want to just try flavors on a different type of chicken. Then the boneless wings, that's a deal and a half. So hopefully you can get down there and do that. Of course, they've got wraps, they've got salads and everything else. Tomorrow night is a bike night, and a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, it is a block party bike night, since yes, it is. And so we will be down there, and hopefully, like we always say, if you get a chance, go down and check things out at the block party and on bike night every Thursday night at Quaker Steak and Lube. Go sing a little bit. Of course, karaoke tonight, and if you want to do that, Phil Froggy go down. John and I listened to it for about 4 minutes after we left the other night. And so there was some singing going on. That's all there is to it. So with us tonight on the show, we're going to have Holly Purdue, the head volleyball coach of the Lady Vikings, and Holly's gotten her program started, of course, already. She's been to Middle Tennessee and played in a couple of tournaments and been doing some stuff already. And then also we'll have Kevin Mooney, the head coach of the Viking soccer team, or Lady Viking soccer team. He has a lot of returning people coming back off that team from his state playoff team from last year. We'll be talking to Kevin about Lady Vikings soccer, and at 6:30 we'll have the athletic director at Tennessee High, Barry Wade, come and join us, and so we're looking forward to that as well, and blocking the back over there too. So but really looking forward to talking to Barry. There has already been things happening here inside the Stone Castle that he talked about last week, them making some changes and doing some things, and it's already starting to happen right now. As we sit here in the press box, the Viking helmets have already been removed. The Viking head that says the Viking Castle up above us between floors has been taken down as well. That is getting they are all being repainted and refurbished.
He's put in some work.
John, they have. They've
Coach Stubbs working on some new high-tech equipment for a
yeah.
football team. And
yeah, they're we've got first time out, and they've got a couple. They have a tripod, and they're working on some things and trying to do some stuff that they just. Matter of fact, tonight's the first time they've used. They've got zoom shot on the cameras and a little bit of everything else. So it's going to be a lot of fun. They got an overhead from the end zone camera, and technology has hit the Viking sidelines, and a great crowd here tonight. Also, John, again, the final scrimmage of the night or the season for the Tennessee High Vikings, and defense looks like so far it's come out ready to play.
Yeah, Abington's a pretty high-flying offense. You know, they lost a little bit.
Lost 3 linemen, I think, and their starting quarterback, but they've still got some guys back.
Abington's usually always really strong. Obviously, that quarterback can throw it, and great breakup on the pass.
Yes, it was. That was Noah Abel on the defensive play. So, we're trying to get ready for football season here for the 2017 season, and again, the Vikings begin that season next Thursday night. Of course, next week is race week, so there's a lot of things going on. We'll do the show at Quaker Steak and Lube next Wednesday. Then right here at 6:30, we'll be on with the Dr. Deborah Basham pregame show on at 6:30, and then the McAllister's kickoff at 7:30 right here on ESPN Tri-Cities, the only voice of the Vikings, at 98.1 FM and at 1490 AM. I want to remind everybody, if you're out or if you're in the stadium and you want to listen to the game, you can go to the TuneIn Radio app and just key in where it says keyword search. Just type in WOPI right there, and you can lock it, and it'll be on forever. And so anything that we carry with the Lady Vikings or Vikings will be on there as well. If you want to listen to regular programming, you can listen to ESPN Tri-Cities as well on the TuneIn Radio app. So a lot of things to be able to do. Of course, the website also, there's 3 microphones up there. You can click on the Bristol mic, and it'll take you directly to the player, and you'll see it, and it'll say Viking Athletics brought to you by Bill Gatton Honda. And so thanks to Trace Bratton and everybody at Gatton Honda. Of course, he's also sponsoring our Facebook stream too that Tim Flanagan does. So we've got Gatton Honda really backing us a lot this year, so we're very appreciative of Trace and everybody at the Honda dealership. So thank you all for doing that. And as we said, we get ready for football next week, but we'll be playing Knox Central Bobcats. Knox Central finished second in the state last year. They had like 28 seniors off that team, but they still have plenty of talent down there. And so the Bobcats have met the Vikings one time, and that was one time only. They met in the quarterfinals at Neyland Stadium in 1972. The Vikings with a 40-12 win over. Yeah, it was a 40-12 win over the Bobcats, and of course the Vikings went on to win a national championship that year here over Chattanooga Baylor. So
reminded today of the alma mater of former Lady Viking softball coach Sammy Chafin, who's in the Knoxville Sports Hall of Fame.
Yes, it is. So, we're looking forward to getting that. We'll get more into the history and kind of go over that game a little bit. We'll probably, I can tell you right now, if you get a chance, you can probably next couple of days or so, and we will repost an article that Tim Hayes had posted to the Bristol Herald Courier a couple of years ago. I guess it was on the anniversary of the Vikings National Championship. There was an article that was written by Mr. Thompson, and we'll repost that. I'm sure Tim will not care that we do that, but again, only one time that the Vikings and the Bobcats have met. The Vikings win by a score of 40-12 in the quarterfinals at Neyland Stadium. Of course, Tennessee was recruiting, I think, 5 players off of Tennessee High's football team that year, and so two of them went. Gil Kyle ended up at Georgia Tech, and of course George Heath ended up at Virginia Tech, and but David Bobby and Larry Silcox both ended up at Tennessee. Larry transferred to ETSU along with Fred Vance going to ETSU. So, you know, I'm hoping that we'll see some of those guys, John. That
was Greg Jones on that national championship.
He was.
So he went.
So Hayside was on that team. Of course, he didn't.
I was gonna say he wasn't as big of a part.
He was a defensive end on that team. Of course, they used him at a tight end quite a few times on top of that too. So hopefully, you know, I'm hoping that we get to see some of those guys, and they'll pop in, or maybe pop in Wednesday when we get ready to do the game and for next week. But trying to, I guess, to get everybody caught up on what all's going on right now, the cross country team has not. They've been running and practicing, but they have their first, I guess it is a scrimmage this Saturday, and they'll be at Sugar Hollow up on the Virginia side. That's a well-known course. The cross-country team will be up there at Sugar Hollow this Saturday. Lady Vikings soccer, we'll be talking to Kevin about that. They had the alumni game this past Saturday, and the youngsters beat the oldsters. Took it to them there for, you know, and so plenty of people got to play that game, that match as well. Lady Viking golf finished third at Morristown yesterday. That was 2 spots up from what they had accomplished from last year, and then also they have already picked up a win also over Elizabethton last week at the Country Club of Bristol. For the Viking golf team, they have 2 wins and a second place finish as they they won the Big Six tournament 2 weeks ago. They defeated Elizabeth the same day that the Lady Vikings knocked off Betsy, and then yesterday they finished second at the Morristown Invitational, 2 shots behind Science Hill Jack Tickle with a 72 to finish, runner-up in individual play. So the Vikings are off to a great start, and the Lady Vikings as well. So we'll see how things transpire, you know, the rest of the season for them. They've matter of fact, they have Science Hill and I believe Science Hill and East coming up, and a couple of other, and Daniel Boone. So they've still got, they're getting into the meat of their schedule. They have, matter of fact, they have DB in Science Hill and Tennessee High with one separate meeting of them twice this year. So in a triangle match, I guess, or a 3-way match, but we'll be talking about that as it gets further and further along here in the season, and you know, trying to get things going on and see how they transpire again. Both the Lady Vikings and the Viking golf teams return a lot of people, and so that's really good. And they've got some younger people on the team now that's looking promising for them as well. We'll be talking to Kevin Mooney shortly in the second half hour of the show tonight, talking about Lady Viking soccer, and they return a bunch of people as well, as Cortland just gets knocked 5 yards forward. That's always a good thing. And but again, the scrimmage is going on. Viking defense held Abingdon to an out, and Viking offense is on the field right now.
Cortland's working a heck of a drive. He had about a 35 yard pass.
He
just
did.
A second on the run, and he's marching down there towards the end zone.
He has. So something we've not seen this year so far, or hadn't seen a lot of, and it's Ryan Gibson in on offense now. So we saw him on defense a little while ago, and he just flat nailed some people, and which is not surprising. But things are moving pretty crisp here right now, pretty smoothly for both Abingdon and for the Vikings. I don't know how much that the first team will actually play tonight. John, we were talking about this before we come on the air. You think they're probably going to play a couple of possessions on offense and a couple on defense with the first team, because we do play
next 2 weeks.
Yeah, and Abingdon has 2 weeks before they play. They actually have a jamboree kind of a game, full-scale game where they play 4 quarters and the whole 9 yards. It's not controlled like these scrimmages are, so they'll be doing that. But we are at the Stone Castle tonight. It is Inside Viking Sports right here on ESPN Tri-Cities, and really looking forward to as we will have Mr. Harder go in to the end zone Hunter Holt from about 11 yards out, so touchdown for the Vikings, and they lead 1-0. But we are here at the Stone Castle. It is the final scrimmage of the season for the Tennessee Vikings. Again, get ready to kick off the 2017 season right here at the Stone Castle next Thursday with Knox Central Bobcats. Again, for everybody, head down to Quaker Steak. Again, it's 60-cent bonus wing night starting at 9 o'clock, and Thunderbird Steaks for $12.99 with 2 sidecars. That is a great steak. I'm telling you here, I promise you it is. I know it is because I've eaten 1 or 5, and it's a really good meal. If you are health conscious, though, you can do wraps, you can do salads, and everything else.
Steak, you're all right.
Yeah, eat that steak. It's good for you. So, and eat plenty of chicken, that's for sure. So, it is time to bang the drum throughout this month. If you've not seen their commercial on Facebook or on YouTube or whatever, it's worth watching. So, it's bang the drum time at Quaker Steak and Lube this next 30 days here at Quaker Steak and Lube and all Quaker Steak and Lubes around the country. We're going to take a short time out. We come back, it'll be Holly Purdue, the head Lady Viking volleyball coach. You're listening to ESPN Tri-Cities Inside Viking Sports from the Stone Castle. Back after this.
It's the Summer Full of Savings sales event going on now at Bill Gatton Honda in Bristol. Save hundreds, even thousands on new or used vehicles with interest rates as low as 0.9%. Come test drive the all-new Ridgeline, available now. We need locally owned vehicles, so we'll pay you instant cash if you trade or not. Come see us on the Parkway in Bristol for big discounts through the entire summer, and we're open late. Visit us online 24/7 at BillGattonHonda.com.
And remember, at Bill Gatton Honda, we've got a Honda with your name on it.
Bill Gatton Honda. If you want the best selection, come on in.
The Bill Gatton crew is waiting for you.
When you're looking for hometown service, just come on in.
With a lifetime warranty, driving for life.
Bill Gatton is the only Honda dealer servicing the Tri-Cities since 1973.
On the Volunteer Parkway in Bristol, come on in.
We got a Honda with your name on it.
My name is Holly Purdue. You're watching the Voice of the Vikings Sports Show, sponsored by Bill Gatton Honda.
Welcome back to Inside Viking Sports. David Dow along with John Monroe, and we're here at the Stone Castle tonight, getting ready for next week's opening game, the 2017 season, and we're making sure we're good to go. And again, Daniel, our chief engineer for Viking Sports, back in the studio, taking care of us again tonight and making sure everything's working according to Daniel's plan. That is major importance to make sure we get everything covered for next Thursday, the kickoff of the 2017 season for the Tennessee High Vikings, again hosting the Knox Central Bobcats here at the Stone Castle. Dr. Deborah Basham pregame show at 6:30, and the McAllister's kickoff at 7:30. But Wednesday night, we're usually at Quaker Steak and Lube in downtown Bristol, and so shout out to Quaker Steak. They flat take care of us, and so we'll be back there next Wednesday night. Do want to remind everybody, though, that it's 60-cent bonus wings starting at 9 o'clock tonight, and also the Thunderbird Steaks, $12.99, and that includes 2 sidecars, and it is just great food. Of course, all the wings are always good. The steaks are really good. Ribs are to die for. They've got so many good things to eat down there. It's just fantastic, and so head down there and take in some karaoke tonight if you want to. If you're froggy, get out there and sing, and Holly may do that, but again, as far as we know, Coach Tiller, Charlie Tiller, is the only Viking coach that sings and doesn't care to. So we'll let Charlie take care of everybody at Tennessee High. So we'll keep doing that. But also tomorrow night is a bike night, and so always great crowd there on bike night on Thursday night. So that's all at Quaker Steak and Lube in historic downtown Bristol, right at the corner of Piedmont and State. Again, we're at the Stone Castle tonight, and Viking defense just recovered a fumble. It'll be a turnover on the Falcons. Defense playing really well right now, so we'll keep you abreast. And if John sees something pop up, he'll let us know without screaming, I think. So we're trying to we're making sure we're using our game voices as well. So, but with me now, the head coach of the Lady Viking volleyball team, Holly Purdue, and Holly. First of all, happy birthday, and since I hadn't seen you since that, get to tell you personally, but you've gotten started already and made a road trip down to Middle Tennessee to get some play in, and you have some players coming back, so let's just, whatever you want to start with first, let's talk about expectations. Let's do this. Let's talk about expectations this year, coming back after your first year last year.
I guess our expectations for this year is just to look back on where we ended last year and how we can improve on that for this year. And the girls have been very adamant about we want to be a team, we want to be a family, we want to feel as one. So that has been, over the entire summer, that has been our concentration, is just building that family atmosphere on and off the court. Right.
Yeah, I know you have quite a few, well, just your whole team's playing summer travel volleyball, and they're playing all year round. I mean, I know that. So, but how much does that help when you have some of your players playing on those same teams together?
Oh, it helps.
As far as not only play time, but also togetherness kind of a thing.
Well, it helps a lot because, you know, that even if they're not on the same club team per se, most of them are in the same club. So they see each other all the time. They're getting to know each other. They're getting to see each other reach higher expectations for themselves than they thought. We've had some girls that come out this year that, I mean, are 100% a different player than they were last year, thanks to being in club and girls pushing them to be better. So I think it's a good thing in the fact that they just get to see each other grow, and I think that is, you know, the biggest part about being a family is growing together, and I think that really helps them.
Talk about some of the people that are coming back that you're going to depend on. You're going to depend on all of them on the varsity, but some people you know that you're going to have to depend on and see what's going on. So.
Well, first, you know, we have Addison Miner, who's coming back. Always been a big hitter for us, and she will continue to do the same. Club has, you know, between club and high school ball, she just has gotten more consistent, more powerful. Her leadership skills have gone through the roof between playing basketball here for us and, you know, all those other different things that she does. So she will definitely be someone that we rely on. Lexi Worley is probably our next, you know, she's been on varsity and this is her 4th year now. And she has improved tremendously. I actually just talked to her the other day about how I think wrestling has really helped her side-to-side game. Like, she's gotten a lot faster. Yeah, her feet have just gotten so much quicker, which, being a libero, you need. And so wrestling 100% has helped that. I'm a huge advocate for playing more than one sport, and I've seen it personally. So, you know, like, I've seen it personally right there in front of me with at least 3 or 4 of my girls, like how much it helps. And then of course we have Erin Walker, our setter, who, you know, has just developed tremendously throughout the years. She doesn't play club ball, but she plays other sports for us, and, you know, she plays basketball, and it's a lot of the same kind of movements. So it's just very repetitive for her, and that's helped a lot.
And she does have a full plate all year round. She's in something.
Yeah, so. She's always doing something, so that, you know, that's definitely made her better too.
You probably don't have, well, you're probably going to have to get really close to at some point in time where you know a set starting lineup. I mean, you're not that far yet. What, the 15th at Science Hill? Did you put this schedule together?
No, we just pick numbers.
Okay, all right.
It's a random draw, I promise.
Because otherwise, I don't know why you would start at, what, 3 conference games before it seems like, but I was thinking it's what it was. But talk a little bit about, you know, having some of these other people back and who you're going to depend on other than the ones you've already mentioned. Who's some other players that
Well, we only have 10 girls on varsity.
Right.
So that small number will honestly allow us to get everybody to play.
Right.
And everybody is going to have their role. Obviously, some will be bigger than others, but for the most part, everybody's got, you know, their set role of where they're going to be. And we actually have a new player this year. She's a senior, unfortunately, but Carly Williams, 6'2",
Yeah.
and heck of a hitter. Holy crap. I can't wait for you all to see. Her and Addison and Jessie Dollinger together.
That's some hard.
I mean, yes, it's unreal. Some days in practice, I just stand there with my mouth open. I'm like, is this happening? Is this real?
This is a good thing.
Yeah. So, and even they do that to themselves sometimes too. Like, they get together and they're like, wait, is this real? Like, is this really
That's
happening?
Good,
so, I think they're getting excited, and they're realizing that it is taking each of them playing their part to get this done. And then, I mean, I have a lot of seniors, so Kaylee McMillan will be back as well,
Right.
and she's taken on more of a defensive role for us. So her and Lexi and Murray Block are kind of taking over our back row right now, and they're being real consistent, playing with each other and learning each other's ways.
Right.
You know, we had our media night last night, so we got to see some different things that, you know, we hadn't seen yet, and just learn from each other a little bit and see, you know, what we were made of. And then tomorrow we have a scrimmage at Greenville, so that'll be a good test for us tomorrow, just to kind of see, you know, who's trusting who and who's going to play what, and, you know, kind of thing. I mean, we're pretty much set of where we're going to be. I don't think there's going to be much change, to be honest. Just because these girls have been working really hard, and I have a really good, diverse group of girls. Like, I would say the majority of my girls could play anywhere on that court if I wanted them to. And that's a huge help, especially if, you know, maybe Erin's having an off day. You know, like, I know I can rely on Addison to come set if I need her to, you know, or Aubrey McRae, who we also have as our backup setter. So it's gonna be a good season.
Yeah.
I think these girls are going to bring a lot to the table.
Right. Holly, the other thing, and you said you had 10 on there, with rotating 10 players, that's going to make everybody a little bit better because they're wanting to play.
Right.
But they're going to be fresher in a long time.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I know that last year you kind of went up and down and you got worn out, and, you know, and with the way things are right now that you have it set, it's probably to your benefit.
Yeah, I think so, and I think the girls have enjoyed it so far, so
far, so good.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. You're 0-0
right
now. So you still could have a shot. What, you know, I mean, looking at the conference from top to bottom, who's where and who's what.
We had this conversation last night too as coaches, like, just watching our media night last night, everybody is so even-keeled. Like, I honestly think it could go any way. I don't really see a set standing right now. So everybody played really well last night, and some surprised me that I wasn't expecting. So I think we are all a lot more even-keeled than we probably want to admit.
Well, you know, and you look like you know, Tennessee High had that huge graduation year before last, and then I know there was a couple teams this past year that they basically are going through the exact same thing that Tennessee High went through 2 years ago. You know, and if you could ever get that cycle where you're not losing more than 3, you know, that'd be perfect. You know,
You can
or
dream.
if you're playing football, you don't want to lose more than a dozen. You know? But you know, I think that you know, a lot of the summer play is gonna help, and especially when you've got the multiples of the girls, the ladies, young ladies playing together on a couple of the same teams and stuff. It has to, you know, if you can do that, and in the time you get them back with you all, then you're ready to go.
Yeah,
so.
I would agree. It definitely has helped, and like I said, you know, certain girls that may have never really gotten to play together play on these club teams together, and then they come back into varsity and they're like, oh, okay, I feel, because I mean, I have 2 new varsity players, and I think it makes them feel more comfortable knowing that they've played with some of these girls in club because they did play together. So they walk into this varsity situation, and their best friends may not be on the team, but they feel comfortable because they've played with these girls in club.
Well, they
so
don't
it
have
does
that
help.
deer in the headlight.
Right.
You know, that's a good thing. So, you went to Middle Tennessee and played. So talk a little bit about that. I mean, I actually meant to hit you up earlier and and see what was going on. I thought, no, I knew you were going to be on shortly, so
Right.
we'll just let you talk about it. So
we went to Brentwood High School, and we played phenomenal teams. We played Brentwood themselves, which I mean, they're 11 state championship team.
They're pretty.
And
they're no slacks.
No, and my girls played absolutely amazing against them. I mean, we still lost 25-15, 25-17, but you know what? I will take that.
Yeah.
I mean,
and this is not Brentwood that we've been playing in tennis. This is the Brentwood Academy.
Yeah,
it's totally
so,
different.
I mean, so they're a really good team, and I mean, we played phenomenal teams that entire weekend, but we also played Briarcrest, which is another state championship team, and we almost beat them.
Yeah.
I mean, we took one set 24-26. And that's a huge deal. I mean, my girls were on cloud 9 after that game.
And they should have been.
Yeah. I mean, and they played their hearts out. Like, I mean, I wish I would have had that entire game recorded, because just watching them from the sideline, like, I just had to take a step back, and I almost cried after the game. It was so good. I was just like, this is so awesome. Like, you girls are playing so well
that's
together.
That's what it's about. I mean, I know they want to. They're ready to step it up some.
Yeah.
And and if they can stay close to someone like that and give them everything they've got, then that's going to build their confidence as well.
Right. And I really think Brentwood did. It gave them a lot of confidence to come back here and to be that powerful team in our area. So.
Well, that's great. You start next week? Yeah, the 15th. So that's Tuesday, I think. Yeah, Tuesday at Science Hill. So, but that is tough. But I was looking at some schedules and stuff. Baseball starts the exact same way, and softball conference. It's like the first 2 weeks is all conference. And everybody's going like, I can't believe we're doing that. And I thought, well, everybody does it now, So you just have to kind of get used to it and win what you can on the road and hold serve at home.
Right.
So, but I do greatly appreciate it, and we'll have you back on, sometime during the season. And
all right.
But I wanted to get you on, to come on tonight and talk about Lady Viking volleyball. I think things are looking different.
I think so too.
I think there's a look upwards now. So, again, best wishes to you. And
thank you.
Thanks for everything, and again, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And that's celebrated well. So.
Thank you.
We are at the Stone Castle. This is Inside Viking Sports, coming to you at the Stone Castle, courtesy of Quaker Steak and Lube in downtown Bristol. A big thanks to Quaker Steak and Lube for hosting Inside Viking Sports. This is the third year that we have been with Quaker Steak and Lube, as the Vikings just get a fumble and return it for a touchdown. Defense is looking mighty, mighty fine tonight, Mr. John. I tell you. So, but we'll be back down at Quaker Steak and Lube next week for Inside Viking Sports. We're going to take a time out. When we come back, we're going to have with us, I think we might go ahead and have Kevin Mooney on with us now and let Barry finish up doing some paperwork he's doing, Barry Wade. But when we come back, it'll be Kevin Mooney, the head coach of the Lady Viking soccer team, right here on Inside Viking Sports, coming to you live tonight at the Stone Castle, and courtesy of Quaker Steak and Lube and Bill Gatton Honda. Back after this.
My name is Kevin Mooney. I'm a girls soccer coach at Tennessee High School. You're watching Voice of the Vikings, sponsored by Bill Gatton Honda.
Welcome back to Inside Viking Sports. David Dow along with John Monroe and Holly Purdue, the Lady Viking head volleyball coach. We're going to be joined here by Kevin Mooney, the head coach of the Lady Viking soccer team. We are at the Stone Castle tonight, as again we're making sure we're good to go for next Thursday night. The Vikings open up the 2017 season with the Knox Central Bobcats. Again, the Vikings and Bobcats have met one time only, in 1972 at Neyland Stadium, where the Vikings won a quarterfinal game over the Bobcats by a score of 40-12. That was also the year that the Vikings won their second state championship and also the national championship, and I was among that crowd of about 16,000, 17,000 in Neyland that night.
Wow.
It was a fun night fun night. So we'll be back at Quaker Steak and Lube on next Wednesday for Inside Viking Sports. And again, Meet the Vikings coming up this Friday here at the Stone Castle at 6 o'clock. There's going to be tons of activities, and we'll be talking to the athletic director, Barry Wade, here shortly about some of the things going on for Meet the Vikings. But we will let you know that we're going to be handing out discount cards from Quaker Steak and Lube. And also, we have Quaker Steak and Lube pencils and some chicken erasers, which I was given.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Man.
yeah, I had to squirrel some of those away. So it's going to be, we'll be giving those out, and there's going to be bounce houses and food and a whole lot of everything going on. But you'll get to meet the Lady Vikings and Vikings for their fall sports. The Mighty Viking Band will be here. The Viking cheerleaders will be here. So looking forward to getting over here, and see how things are transpiring on Friday night with Meet the Vikings here at the Stone Castle. At Quaker Steak and Lube tonight, it's boneless wings for 90 cents. 90-cent boneless wings starting at 9 o'clock, or 60-cent boneless wings at 9 o'clock. Get that back there. 60-cent boneless wing night at night, starting at 9 o'clock at Quaker Steak and Lube. Also, the Thunderbird steak, $12.99, and that includes 2 sidecars. So, great steak, great wings down there. And again, we keep telling you about how good the salads are. They have a mac and cheese bowl. It's to die for. It's really good. Ribs are perfect. I tell you, there's not much bad food down there, period. And so,
yes,
as Mr. Gibson intercepts a pass, and Big Brother be proud of that one, John. And so Ryan Gibson with the interception for the Vikings. He's had a couple of breakups already today and an interception now. So, but we will be back at Quaker Steak and Lube next Wednesday for Inside Viking Sports at 6 o'clock. Right here on ESPN Tri-Cities, getting at 98.1. If you're listening to us, you already know that, but it's 98.1 FM, 1490 AM, which is the old WOPI, ESPNTricities.com. You can click on the Bristol mic on the ESPN Tri-Cities website, and it'll put you straight into the player there. It says Viking Athletics, brought to you by Bill Gatton Honda, or also on the TuneIn Radio app. The keyword there is WOPI, and it is also brought to you by Bill Gatton Honda. So big thanks to Trace Bratt and people down there at Gatton Honda, and of course always thanks to everybody at Quaker Steak and Lube. So with me now, the head coach of the Lady Viking soccer team, Kevin Mooney. And Kevin, welcome back. It's been a while. You're under full scale practice now, and had an alumni game Saturday. Great turnout for an alumni game.
We did. It was a lot of fun. A lot of old faces that we haven't seen in a while.
Not old people, but old faces.
Right.
Old people. I can't watch it.
Yeah. We had a great turnout. A lot of alumni showed up, and they gave us a good game. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I know that you got to play a lot of the JV people the second half, but the first half, your group took it to them. They went right at them. So.
I would hope so. I think my girls are probably a little bit better in shape than some alumni, but
yeah.
They had a good squad for sure.
Yeah, they did.
Luckily, I was smart enough to schedule a game after a lot of the college players had already gone off to college.
Smart move,
yeah. So they were missing some of their studs, the alumni for sure.
Yeah. You have a scrimmage tomorrow with Catholic.
We do.
And it is in Knoxville, correct?
It is. It's going to be a long day.
So what time will y'all leave?
We're going to get out just a little bit early, about 2 o'clock from school, and head down. We're going to kick off about 5 o'clock down there.
Okay.
And do a little varsity first, then get some JV in afterwards.
Right. You did their, what is the first kick already? Was that, you got that in?
Yeah, we had a jamboree down at Civitan Park.
Right.
It's not the conference jamboree per se. It's just what they call a play date.
Yeah.
So we went down and the varsity got 2 35-minute games, and the JV got 2 35-minute games. So some good experience. We're just trying to get better every day.
Right.
And getting that playing time in surely helps.
Yeah. You have a lot of returning people back.
We do.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though you did win as far and go to the state last year, lose a couple of really key players, but you got a lot of folks back.
Yeah, the girls have a taste for success for sure. So we're just trying to continue to grow and fill in the gaps we need, and lean on those girls that have played a lot of soccer, meaningful soccer for us, and hopefully they'll guide us to where we need to be. Talk
a little bit about some of the people coming back from last year's squad.
let's see. Up front, Taylor Haar. She was hurt a little bit last year, but we're happy to have her back. She's going to be up front, maybe even filling a little bit in the midfield for us. Emma Arnold's probably going to start a little bit up front for us. Maya Howren is going to get some time up front, and also on the outside midfielder. Kennedy Tester has been a stalwart at outside midfielder for us for quite some time. And then we're going to put a couple new girls in the middle, probably Lindley Rhodes and Laura Lavender, and get some time in the middle of the field. In the back, we got Cassie Newton right now, Riley Cosgrove in the middle, and then Ellie Massengill and Daria Franklin, a transfer from Kentucky.
Right.
And then we're putting a freshman in the goal and seeing how we do.
Well, she looked okay the other day during alumni. She had some shots on her.
She's improved dramatically over the last couple weeks. So, it's a tough spot to be in. There's a lot of pressure on the goalkeeper, but she's taking everything in stride and picking it up as quick as she can.
Yeah. I hate to even ask you this, but you will have a bullseye on your back now. Not that you don't had one before, but how's it different this time than even last year?
Yeah, I mean, you know how sports are. You got to play one game at a time and show up and play every day, or everybody's got a chance to beat you. So that's going to be a little different this year. Our conference went from 7 teams down to 5. So now we're doing home and away this year. So we're going to see a lot of our conference teams a little bit more. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out throughout the course of the year. But yeah, we're going to show up, and we've got some games circled on our calendar. We really need to make sure that we're ready for those, and we're going to try to use the out of conference games to get better, and get a little bit more playing time for some of the girls, and see if we can't make a run at the end of the season.
Right. Talking about the conference, everybody will be playing home and home with their the other schools. How's that kind of change as far as scheduling then non-conference opponents? And I mean, now you want to try to find somebody that's good. It's not going to do you any good to play someone that's you're just going to roll through and beat them 10-0.
Right. To tell you the truth, it's probably about the same. We lost Central and Volunteer, which were maybe not the most challenging games for us. But then we're doubling up Crockett and Boone. And then, obviously, we're getting 2 more good games against Science Hill and Dobbins-Bennett. So, we're still doing the same thing in terms of out-of-conference games, just trying to find real good competition, around here. So, we got Greenville on our schedule who's won back-to-back state championships in Division II. And, we're going down to Jeff County a week from tomorrow. So we're going to test the girls. That's what it's for. That's what the regular season's for, to put a couple notches on your belt and hope it makes you better at the end of the year.
Right. Who do you see as your biggest competition conference-wise this year?
I mean, Science Hill is always going to be tough. They made it to regional play just like we did last year. They're just a factory. I would love to have the depth they have. They probably have 40 or 50 club players on their roster. They probably make cuts, and they're cutting club players, and I'm getting by with 5 or 6 club players. So and that's probably being a little generous. So they're always going to be tough. Dobbins-Bennett always has a great program. They've got some very talented girls down there. Those are of course the 2 biggest ones. Just by numbers wise, I think Science Hill would be the one that would probably scare me a little bit more than others. Just out of attrition. I mean, they can run so many players in and out and stuff like that.
They do.
Right.
They wear you out,
of course,
as much as, and they do it with the guys too.
Yeah.
As you well know.
Oh yeah.
But who you kind of really, I hate to say you're depending on somebody, but who really needs to step up, I guess, for you this year? Or
we've got a bunch of people that are going to need to step up. Defensively,
not to single anyone out. But.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a good core group of players, but I'm moving around to quite a few. I mean, even though we didn't graduate a lot of defenders from last year's team, a lot of them are moving around spots for us. I got a couple defenders that I'm putting up in the midfield, so they're going to be kind of playing out of position from what they were last year. And my midfield's going to be predominantly new. Kennedy Tester might be the only person I'm really returning from the midfield, and then up front, Emma Arnold's going to have to step up and fill her sister's shoes a little bit and put some goals, some balls in the back of the net for us. So.
They looked pretty quick though Saturday.
I've got good athletes.
There's a lot of foot speed.
Yeah,
I mean there's quick and there's foot speed.
Right.
But they were quick.
Yeah, of course the alumni was nice enough to make us look a little bit faster than we probably were.
But
so.
still, either you can see it though.
Right. So. I've got a very athletic team. If nothing but we can get up and down the field when we need to.
Right.
And we're gonna put those girls in spots where they can be aggressive and take advantage of some of that speed for sure. We just got to get them to read the game and understand when they can use their aggressiveness and their athleticism. So,
well, you get to take off to Knoxville tomorrow, and then starts forever.
Yeah,
it starts the season then. Next week. So
Dobbins Bennett.
First game, first match.
Yeah, next Tuesday. So,
and there, correct? Is it there?
I think it's here.
I
think it's here. I could be wrong about that. I don't know. I probably should know my own schedule a little bit better. But
well, I say I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I've looked at this, but
yeah, you're better than I am. I know I got it on my phone here. Let me take a little gander. Yeah, I know. Let me see. Yeah, it's at home. It's at home. So,
sweet.
Yeah, no kidding. So yeah, it'll be fun. We're looking forward to it. The girls are tired of playing each other and stuff like that. So they like the games once the games start. The repetition and getting out there and competing against other people, and we're excited. We think we got a good team.
And you get a test tomorrow.
Yeah.
Plus traveling, that'll let you know how aware they're going to be when they get off that bus tomorrow after an hour and 45-minute road trip.
Yeah, for sure. It's good. I mean, they got to get used to stuff like that.
Right.
We can't just be. The other day it was pouring down rain, and I refused to let them off the field. We don't want any excuses.
Right.
We don't want, oh, hey, we had to travel a couple hours to go play to be an excuse, So
exactly.
We're going to show up. We're going to play as best we can and see if we can't get better and ready for the regular season. So we're excited.
Kevin, appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
As
Thanks for having
always,
us.
thank you for being with us, and we'll be keeping up with Lady Vikings soccer again this year and give you updates on Twitter and Facebook and on Voice of the Vikings Facebook page, the whole 9 yards. As soon as we get information, we will hand it out there. Believe me, we'll get it out. So you're listening to Inside Viking Sports. We're coming to you live tonight from the Stone Castle here in Bristol. We'll be back at Quaker Steak and Lube next Wednesday for Inside Viking Sports as we get ready for the 2017 season opener for the Tennessee High Viking football team between the Knox Central Bobcats. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll be talking, hopefully we're not. We're not. It'll be John back as Barry Wade has flew the coop, and so he gave me some information to go on. So you're listening to Inside Viking Sports on ESPN Tri-Cities. We'll be right back after this.
Harry has a Honda, Holly has a Honda, Howard drives a Honda too. Jerry's got a Honda, Freddie's got a Honda, you know what you got to do. Bill Gatton is a friend for sure, he's looking out for you. After all these years, it's time for you to drive a Honda too. Bill Gatton has a Honda for you.
And remember, we've got a Honda with your name on it.
It's the Summer Full of Savings sales event going on now at Bill Gatton Honda in Bristol. Save hundreds, even thousands on newer used vehicles with interest rates as low as 0.9%. Come test drive the all-new Ridgeline, available now. We need locally owned vehicles, so we'll pay you instant cash if you trade or not. Come see us on the Parkway in Bristol for big discounts through the entire summer, and we're open late. Visit us online 24/7 at BillGattonHonda.com.
And remember, at Bill Gatton Honda, we've got a Honda with your name on it.
All right. Hey, this is Eddie Gray with Tri-City Scouts Chicago. You're watching Voice of the Viking Sports Show, sponsored by Bill Gatton Honda.
Back to Inside Viking Sports, David Dow and John Monroe. And remind everybody, at 9 o'clock tonight on Facebook, you can actually watch the show again. And a big thanks to everybody out there. This is like a Canadian Football League. I don't think you could do that. I don't know what we had over 1,000 views as of Monday, if I'm not mistaken. So that probably closer to 3,000 acknowledgments, I guess, or people knew about it. So thank you all for first of all for watching it, everybody for sharing it. The response that we got back from last week's show is fantastic. With Kim Kim Kirk, the new principal at Tennessee High, and Barry Wade, the athletic director at Tennessee High, both of them coming in brand spanking new this year. Of course, Barry has been here as the Lady Viking head basketball coach, but the response and the support that I think we're going to get out of this, John, is tremendous. And I think there's a lot of people, just by the looks of all the people here in the stands tonight, there's that Viking pride is alive, and I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see a lot of good things come out of the stuff that's going on.
Mitchell.
And Kate Mitchell has a face mask, horse collar, yeah.
But yeah, sometimes things are going okay, but you get in a rut, and and it is a good shake-up's what you need.
Yeah,
and that's
what they were talking about. Barry talked about, Coach Wade talked about it last week. That with that new and that excitement, everybody gets excited, and we want to let you know, of course, also that I talked about this earlier. The 2 Viking helmets that are here on the press box have been removed, and the Viking head that's up above us in the center that says Viking Castle has also been removed. They are being refurbished right now, and they'll be back up in time for the first football game. There's a lot of things that are going on that have happened, and they're doing some stuff, and I tell you, it's showing up. And again, the crowd here tonight at the scrimmage game here with Abbott, and again, this is the final scrimmage for the Vikings this year. But things are really looking good, and I think there's an excitement in the air for all Tennessee High athletics, both with the Lady Vikings and the Vikings. And I was going to have Barry talk about this, but Friday night is Meet the Vikings. That starts at 6 o'clock. There's going to be tons of things for the kids to do. And it's kind of a fan appreciation night as well, as we're going to be doing we're going to have bounce houses here for the kids. The kids are going to actually, I think, get to meet the cheerleaders and the players and all the fall sports athletes. It's going to be a lot of fun, John. I think it's the Mighty Viking Band's going to be here. I know David Simone's, which you know very well,
is excited.
Yeah, they're excited, and I can tell you right now, there are no bleachers sitting in that end zone right now. So that's what we wanted to see. I'll leave it at that. I've been wanting that forever, so hopefully we get this thing knocked out and they're back in the stands where they belong, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's a good thing as far as Meet the Vikings. Sometimes it's a parents-only thing. You get, it's a hey, here's your kid. But they're trying to turn it into more of an event, and that'll help bring people out.
It will.
Just get the excitement going.
And not to mention, there's also a kickball game going on that night. The students versus the teachers, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And we were talking about last week. All the teachers signed up. They were the first ones to sign up before the students even knew about it. They had already decided, yeah, we're playing. No, we're not. We'll do this, do that. And Cortland Carter on a 20-yard run. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's for all ages. If you have a student or a child or a grandchild in kindergarten, you bring them. We want to start building the Viking pride back up at the age of kindergarten, or younger, and go on up. And this is for everyone. It's not just for the Tennessee High students or parents or grandparents. This is for the entire community. And again, by the looks of the parking lot out here tonight and the people in the stands, I don't expect it to be anything less than a boatload of people here Friday night, John. I think it's going to happen.
Some people might just not even know about driving by, seeing it, and say, hey, let's go check it out.
But I know that we've started blasting it all over the place, and hopefully we can keep getting it out there and letting everybody know that we're doing this on Friday night. So it's Meet the Vikings at 6 o'clock on Friday night. Again, they'll be introducing all the fall sports here at the Stone Castle. The Mighty Viking Band will also be introduced and be playing. The cheerleaders will be being here also, and so we're just looking for a lot of fun and a lot of Viking pride here at the Stone Castle. We will be back at Quaker Steak and Lube next Wednesday downtown in Bristol, and at 6 o'clock, and looking forward to getting back down there. But again, tonight we're here at the Stone Castle. It gives John and myself, and of Chris is over in Charlotte watching with the PGA golf tournament.
Not playing.
Not playing. No, he's not playing. He's playing, but he's not playing that tournament. So Chris will be back with us hopefully next week, unless he decides to take off someplace,
or if he does enter the tournament and win it.
Yeah, he can bring us some money back. But you know, we're really looking forward to getting back down to Quaker Steak and Lube next week. It will be all football with updates on all the other sports. But next week is football, the remainder of the season for us here on ESPN Tri-Cities. Again, John and Chris and myself will be back here, and the first game of the season next Thursday here at the Stone Castle. We'll have the Dr. Deborah Basham pregame show at 6:30, followed by the McAllister's kickoff at 7:30. And of course, we'll be giving updates on all the scores. John will be doing that, and we'll be giving I think there's 6 games on Thursday night, so we'll be keeping close tabs on that one. You know, we'll be doing all of our awards that we always do, and so it's just it'll be back to normal starting next Thursday if it's normal for us. So, but we're looking forward to getting football season started again. Just a lot of excitement going on here at Tennessee High, and with a little bit of everything. And so, game-wise, and with the Lady Vikings as well, I think you can tell by the interviews with Holly and with Kevin Mooney, both they're excited to get their season started. Holly didn't say a whole lot about her transfer in. Well, she did, but she's the real deal. I can tell you what, that is a fact. If you can get a volleyball player on the court that's 6'2", that will bode well many times. And of course, we know what Addison can do on top of that, and Aaron Walker again being back. So there's a lot of I think there's a lot of confidence in the Lady Viking volleyball team.
There was last year fall sports and winter sports did really well.
Yeah.
Football's down, but you know, see if everybody else can keep it up. Football can join them.
Right, yeah, exactly. And then, of course, we got into spring, and everything was great there. Yeah. So, you know, it's a hiccup, and hopefully we've got this thing over with, and we're going to, you know, get everything underway. Again, we'll be back at Quaker Steak and Lube next week for Inside Viking Sports, and back here Thursday night for the first game. This is not Tennessee High Vikings hosting the Knox Central Wildcats for the first time and the only time since 1972. For John Monroe and for Holly Purdue and Kevin Mooney, this is David Dow. Big thanks to everybody at Quaker Steak and Loop and here at the Castle and the Bill Gatton Honda for sponsoring Inside Viking Sports right here on ESPN Tri-Cities. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you Wednesday for more Inside Viking Sports right here on the only voice of the Vikings since the 1950s, ESPN Tri-Cities. Good night, everyone.
The end of summer sales event is happening now at Bill Gatton Honda in Bristol. Save hundreds, even thousands on newer used vehicles with interest rates as low as 0.9%. Test drive the all-new Ridgeline and the entire Honda fleet available now. We need locally owned vehicles, so we will pay you instant cash if you trade or not. Come see us on the Parkway in Bristol for huge discounts from now until the end of summer. Visit us online 24/7 at BillGattonHonda.com.
And remember, at Bill Gatton Honda, we've got a Honda with your name on it.
It's the Summer Full of Savings sales event going on now at Bill Gatton Honda in Bristol. Save hundreds, even thousands on newer used vehicles with interest rates as low as 0.9%. Come test drive the all-new Ridgeline, available now. We need locally owned vehicles, so we'll pay you instant cash if you trade or not. Come see us on the Parkway in Bristol for big discounts.